This man receives sinners and eats with them. Yet he claims to be the Son of God. Yet he claims to be the Messiah. If he was the Son of God, he should be like the Son, like God, right? And God hates sin and sinners and evil. Can't stand it, right? He receives sinners. You know, in the Old Testament, in the first chapter of the book of the prophet Habakkuk, it says that God's eyes are too pure to look at evil and sin. Cannot mingle with sin. Cannot do that. Some I think even founded the doctrine on purgatory based on this, because they say you cannot get into the presence of God unless you're pure. So you need to go through a process of purging before you finally stand in His presence, because that's the only thing He can allow in His presence is pureness and light, because He's unapproachable, right? By sin. The thing is, in the same verse in Habakkuk, where it says, your eyes are too pure to look at evil. So why do you do it? Why do you look at evil people? Why do you have mercy on them? Why do you, in the New Testament language, why do you eat with sinners? Why do you receive them? Why? He is a God of mercy. Like we proclaimed earlier, the mercy of the Lord is everlasting. I would be very, very careful with this, okay? Very careful. We're going to be on Facebook and on the internet. So I'm going to be very careful in saying this. I'm not at all being political, okay? I'm just going to talk about current events. Very, very current. I'm talking about the decision of the Supreme Court to allow the burial of Marcos at being an Omayan. And many people protested. Okay, I'm not going to say that Marcos was a saint, because he was a sinner, just like you and me. But that this is why we have judges. We have the judiciary to decide on these things. That's just the question of some is, why should he be allowed there? And we can go technical about it, but I'm just dealing with the fact that we think some make it, or some should make it, and some shouldn't. Some make the grade and some don't. My question is, who made us judges? And what makes us think we're qualified to say, you make it, you know? And how do we know? How do we know who does and who doesn't? We're not God. God is God. All of us still are perfect, but like I always say, each one of us was made in the image and likeness of God. And we are not His enemies, we are His beloved. And He accepts us, receives us, just like the Father received the prodigal son. And I'm here to tell you that Marcos was made in the image and likeness of God. And the angels in heaven, and all of heaven, would rejoice over any one sinner who repents. Whether their name is Marcos, or Aquino, or Trump, or Clinton, or Thurman, or Vina, or Sepial, or Apalahe. Each of us was made in the image and likeness of God, and He is in the process of restoring each one of us. I like the gospel Monday at the Resurrection Mass. This is the will of Him who sent me. And of all He gave me, Jesus was very active in creation, by the way, if you didn't know that. Of all that He gave me, Father gave me, granted to me, which is all the nations and all the cosmos, including humanity, that I lose not one, which is why I, together with my citizens who are in heaven, we rejoice over one sinner that repents than over 99 that don't need repentance. Not that we don't care about the 99, they're taken care of. But we repent. Because that's our God. When you say, well, didn't you hear Revelation saying he wages war and he treads on the winepress of the fierce wrath of God? Of course he would be mad. Of course he would be angry. Because his creation was disfigured, deformed, vandalized by his enemy, his real enemy. And his enemy brought sin into the world. And along with it came the ultimate enemy, which is death. Death is the enemy. And death has been inflicted on God's beloved. That's his enemy. That's what he wages war on. Not his creatures over which he rejoices when they are restored. This is the very same attitude of the few verses down. The prodigal son and his brother, right? The brother also asked the same thing. Why would you receive this sinner, this squanderer of your wealth, this philanderer and lover of harlots? Why would you receive him? Why? Because I'm the Father who is merciful, and I receive him into my kingdom. By the way, why don't you come in too and enjoy yourself at the banquet? And it was the brother who said, I won't have a part with that sinner. Well, by saying that, you're saying you're not going to have a part with your merciful Father either, and his feast and his banquet. But why? Why does God receive sinners? Why? Because he's our merciful Father and our merciful King. And that's the way it is in his kingdom.